but within the at-large seats. So when it comes time to election day, which is June 28th, 2022, June 28th, just less than 6 months away, you'll have the opportunity to elect not only your district representative, but 4 at-large representatives. You can vote for at least up to 4 candidates in the at-large race. Brandy is running for one of those at-large seats where she wants to represent all of the county. And we have a very diverse county. We have urban areas, suburban areas, and rural areas. And folks who are writing in the chat, we know folks are coming from all of those different locations in our county. We have folks who have different housing situations. We have folks who come from different parts of the world who have come to the county because this is a place where they want to live. This is a place where they want to work and where they want to raise their family. And so that's why we're coming together for this conversation, because the county council has an opportunity to help set that vision for how we want to live together, work together, and thrive in the county. And I will just remind folks one more time that, again, we'll share some ways that you can volunteer and get involved in the campaign. But the most important thing that you can do for your friends, your family, folks that weren't able to join, is remind them of when we vote for our county council and other elected officials. And that's on June 28th, 2022. So later this year, June 28th. So don't remember that date. Make sure that you mark it on your calendar. Don't forget it. Invite your friends. Make sure everybody's registered to vote so that they can come out and vote. And we can have people represented from all across our county. I'm now going to kick it over to 2 of our co-hosts, and we're really thankful to have a great group of co-hosts who are with us, who helped to put this event together and bring all of us together tonight. Lauren and Ellen, and Lauren's going to go first. Introduce yourself and share why you support Brandy.
Unmute, Lauren.
Okay, good. Sorry. So thanks so much, Michelle. I just first, I'm Lauren Greenberger and one of the co-hosts. I just want to thank you all for coming. This is an incredible turnout and so heartening to see such support for a new candidate so early in the race. So thank you guys for being here. It's great to see you all. It's so fun to scroll across that bar and see all my buddies. So yay. And also I want to really thank my co-hosts, Ellen Gordon, Jim Ballard, Heidi Rosvold-Brenholtz, and Roger Brenholtz. We made a good team. We reached out to all parts of our neighborhood and beyond. It's been really fun to work with them, and Brandy's staff, amazing. They've done this before, so they're really good at this. So I just want to highlight just a couple things that struck me about Brandy. So she's probably the only candidate who has really focused on food systems as a central theme of her platform. She has worked to increase food security and growing sustainable crops. This has been a thread throughout her life and her work. She's worked as director of community programs for the Food Project in Boston and director of Dreaming Out Loud in DC, to just name a couple. This is an interest of hers that really runs deep. And so building and supporting equitable, sustainable local food systems is a priority for her. And we here in the Ag Reserve, we need someone with this passion and with this background to help bridge a gap in the county, or make it be a bridge in the county, bring in new farmers from both immigrant and marginalized communities into farming, and new entrepreneurs into the food system network here in the county. Some of our best and most promising new farmers come from these communities right now, and we need more of them. So I think having a link on the county council who can tap into these resources would be invaluable, both for the future of agriculture in the county, but also for the future of food security as we go into a unknown climate future. Brandy is also keenly aware of how precious the Ag Reserve is and the zoning that protects it, and from an environmental point of view. And she's committed to seeing it protected well into the future. So I love that too. And the other thing I just want to note about Brandy is that she comes from a multicultural family. She's part Black American and part Latina American. And that is a really cool combination. Growing up and living your life day to day in an intimately multicultural setting gives you an open mind. You're interested in new and different things. You appreciate and embrace differences. And you also learn to negotiate, to navigate, and to compromise. And these are things that county council members sorely need, and we don't always see it in them. So I love that about her, and I think that's ingrained in her very fiber because of the world she's grown up in. So I love that. We're a multiracial, multi-ethnic county, and becoming more and more so every year. So having a at-large county council member who reflects that profile and can connect with people from all backgrounds and draw them in will bring so many more people to the table and bring so many more resources to help solve our problems here. Things like, retrofitting homes for better insulation, backyard composting, ramping up recycling and reuse, getting solar on every rooftop. These are all things that we need someone who people trust and believe the vision that she's pushing, that they will follow her. And I see that in Brandy. So I'm excited to have her as a county council member for us. I think she'll represent us amazingly well, and I want to hear more from her today. So I'm going to turn it over to Ellen and let her say a couple things.
Okay, got it unmuted. I know a lot of you, but for those I don't, my name's Ellen Gordon and I'm from Dickerson. And my husband Jim and I have lived in the Ag Reserve for 33 years. And I've been a community activist working to protect the reserve since we moved here. Brandy's campaign first came across my radar about 6 months ago, and what I read inspired me to send a small donation. The more I learned about her, the more my enthusiasm has grown. Her work for social and environmental justice, collaborative and sustainable food systems speaks volumes about what she believes in. It's really important to me that Brandy isn't taking big donations from corporations or developers and is going the public funding route. And I'm gratified to know how seriously she takes the existential threat of climate change. I know, because I've been involved, that our county is developing plans to address climate change, but progress is incremental. And we need a lot more momentum in this fight. And I know we have an ally in Brandy. And I'm going to quote something she wrote in an op-ed in Maryland Matters, because it just really spoke to me. So these are Brandy's words. The fight against climate change is not about finding a quick tech fix. It is about fundamentally changing the way we understand our responsibilities to one another, the planet we live on, and all the other living things we share it with. It is a fight for health, justice, dignity, and the right to live and thrive. We need public leaders who will take up this fight with the urgency it demands. Our communities cannot wait any longer. And that just, it reached me here. So with that, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm excited because now we're going to hear from Brandy. Go for it.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Heidi. And thank you, Roger. You all have been amazing to work with on this, putting this together. I'm so excited. And thank you to all of you. It is really, it's so fun to see all of you on this call, to get to have these conversations. And I love getting to do this. So I really appreciate y'all being here. Again, I'm Brandy Brooks. I use she, her pronouns, and I am running for Montgomery County Council at Large because I love this county. It is an amazing, amazing place to live. We have beautiful, amazing places. We have tremendous people. We have so much opportunity to really develop what we do here and show what it means to build a county, to build a government, to build communities, to build movements that are truly rooted in equity and justice and sustainability and respect for one another and respect for the earth. And what we do here matters tremendously. We are right next to Washington, D.C. We are the largest, the most populous county in the state of Maryland. So what we do here has tremendous ripple effects across the region and across the county. Our local elections, every local election matters, and our local elections have the opportunity to have impact in so many different places. So my background includes a lot of different things, but the focus of my career has really been in land use planning and working on environmental justice and in working on racial justice. And that's what I continue to do today. I'm the co-director of a nonprofit consulting firm called One Square World. And what we do is that we work with grassroots community organizations, especially those led by people of color, all across the country to develop policy in a different way, one where community members are the experts and the decision makers who are really shaping the policy outcomes that we get, who are really setting the framework, determining the priorities, and then getting in and determining the details, where we get to actually trust and support community wisdom to get us to the places that we need to go in our public policy. And what I love about my work is that I get to see so many people in different communities all across the country, and I get to hear people talk about their visions for the world that they want to build. And what I'm so clear about is that people's visions for the world they want to build, people are brilliant, people are insightful, they are thinking such powerful things, they are compassionate, people have outstanding ideas for what we need to do together to create a world that will not only support them and their families to thrive, but to support all people to thrive. The brilliance, the insight, the lived experience that is within our communities is tremendous. It bowls me over every time. And the challenge is that even though we have all of this within our communities, we are struggling to get those brilliant visions into reality. And it's not because we don't have the knowledge. It's not because we don't have the skills. It's not because we don't have the passion or the understanding. Where we get tripped up is that we are not clear about power. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about power. And I want to start by saying that a lot of us are kind of uncomfortable with that word. You know, if somebody comes up to you and says, I want power, you're like, whoa, who is this person? What are they doing? What are they about to do to me? That's so often how we have experienced power. What is it about to do to me? And so we're worried about power. We're worried about becoming powerful people because we're like, what does that mean I'm about to do to someone else? But the thing is, power is actually very simple. The dictionary just defines it as the ability to act. Dr. Martin Luther King talked about it as the ability to achieve purpose. Power is a good and a necessary thing. And like many good and necessary things, it can be used for a bad purpose, but power itself is something that we need and need to want. And our not being clear about power doesn't serve us. So why are we unclear? We're unclear because there are people who want us to be unclear. Folks who want to maintain our history of racial injustice in this country want us to be unclear about power and divided amongst ourselves. Folks who want to continue concentrating wealth and keeping people from being able to get their basic needs met and always having to hustle and struggle and never having time to build relationships or to participate in their own governance. They want us to be unclear about power. People who want to continue to exploit and extract from our environment and degrade it because they believe that somehow they're going to be able to put themselves in a magic bubble and isolate themselves from the consequences. They want us to be unclear about power. So that's what they want. But this is actually about what we want and what we need. And we need to decide to be powerful together. And I want to talk about the power in particular of the Upcounty. I need y'all to notice something brilliant about tonight. This is hands down the largest meet and greet we have ever had in either of my campaigns. I want you to know how badass your hosts are. They rustled y'all up, and we now have 44 beautiful people on this call. Not only that, but before this night even started, y'all had raised $1,400. So what that tells me is that this is a group of tremendously powerful people who are ready to step into building and exercising that power by organizing yourselves, by organizing your resources. And I am 100% here for it. And it is so important too that this is an Upcounty meet and greet. And I know we have folks from a variety of places around the region, but I want to highlight specifically that the core of folks who are organizing this are from the upper parts of our county. And that matters too, because too often in this county, we ignore the Upcounty at our peril. We so often do not invest the resources, the infrastructure, the attention, the understanding of all of the wisdom and knowledge and experience that is within our Upcounty. The fact that that is one of our fastest growing areas and some of our most diverse. We do not honor this beautiful part of our region, and that makes me upset. And it is such a missed opportunity. And I want to tell y'all a story. As Lauren mentioned, I've been involved for most of the last decade in doing community food systems work. So when I moved here to Montgomery County and I looked around at who we were, and I saw this county of 500 square miles and over 1 million people, I thought I have hit the community food systems jackpot. Because not only do we have this amazing population of people who've grown up here and also who've come here from across the country and across the world with all of that knowledge and experience and understanding about food, but we have the land, and not just any land. We've got great urban areas that can serve as tremendous markets for this, suburban areas, and a beautifully preserved agricultural reserve, which is one of the best land use decisions I've ever seen in my life. And I thought this is the place where we could show what hyperlocal food systems look like, because we can be supporting food producers and we can be supporting folks who are doing food processing and distribution and preparation and sale. We've got the whole enchilada right here. So when you want to know why I get excited about Montgomery County, I'm like, this is the hyperlocal food system of my dreams waiting to happen. And I'm so excited about what we can do together. But we can't do that by leaving the Upcounty and its residents behind. For my beautiful vision to take place, all of you have to be involved and engaged in it. All of you have to be active participants in shaping the visions and shaping the policies through which we implement our visions. And your knowledge of both what's beautiful about our county and what's not working is critical to developing policy, not only for the Upcounty, but for our entire county, because you all know the environmental cost of increasing dependence on automobile transportation, as well as the social and emotional and physical costs of these long commutes, because we don't have proper transportation infrastructure that supports people to be able to get around in a variety of ways without mortgaging our future. You all know what it is to live in counties that haven't been appropriately supported by things like school infrastructure, even as we have allowed tremendous development where people are extracting wealth and leaving us with the consequences, which is something we're dealing with all over the county. You all know that we cannot continue to allow the destruction of our environment, and that we have to make transitions to green energies, to sustainable waste management, and that the way we have to do those transitions has to support our folks to have good jobs, to have good places to live, to be an interconnected whole. So if we are not bringing in the understanding of the Upcounty, we are going to miss the boat as a whole county. And that is why I'm here, and that is why I am so excited about tonight. Because I am ready for us to organize together. I am ready for us to figure out together, to struggle together, because it can be a struggle. We are facing complex challenges that we've been dealing with for decades. But I am ready for us to struggle together to the solutions. Because as I said, I know that we have the wisdom and the knowledge and the skill and the vision. And I know that you all on this call are ready to build the power. And with your leadership and the leadership of people all across our county, we are going to build the kind of place where, for me and my family, as renters, as young people and seniors, as students, as people of color, as workers and entrepreneurs, that we are going to be able to live and thrive in a community that supports us every day. And so I am thrilled. I'm so looking forward to our conversation tonight. I'm so looking forward to your questions. I want to hear more about what's on your mind. And I'm excited over the coming 5 months for us to demonstrate what we can do together, what we can do together around housing, what we can do together around a fair economy, what we can do together around environmental justice and education, and so many of the other critical things for our communities. Thank you all for being here. Thank you in advance for sharing your wisdom with me. And let's get to talking.
All right. I hope you're excited. I saw Lee in the chat was like, I'm in. And there is a lot of excitement. And every time I hear Brandy, I get excited. I'm like, where do I sign up again? I'm like, oh wait, I signed up as campaign manager. I'm here. But I'm ready to sign up again every single time, because this is a movement that's inclusive and all of us coming together to be part of what's going on. So now is the time that we open it up for questions, and I'm going to stop the recording so that you can ask questions, and this can be a free conversation, a free flowing conversation. So 1 second, let me just do that.